Many people know that North America was discovered by Norsemen more than 400 years before Christopher Columbus landed in the Caribbean. Leif Eriksson is the name most often associated with this discovery. But who was Leif Eriksson and how did his life play out? Leif Eriksson was born around the year 970 AD in Iceland as the son of Erik the Red and Shodhild Jorunnsdottir. Erik the Red was talked about in the last video and is known as the man to establish the Norse settlements on Greenland. Leif Eriksson did not follow his father when he was exiled around 982 AD. Instead, he moved with the rest of his family to Greenland around the year 986 AD, when his father's exile had ended. He would spend the rest of his youth in the eastern settlement on Greenland. When he had become an adult, Leif was sent to Norway and the court of its king, Olaf Tryggvason. During the trip, Leif Eriksson was blown off course and driven to the Hebrides in Scotland, where he met a noblewoman named Thorgunna, with whom he fathered a child, Thorgils. Leif would continue to Norway by himself, where he would convert to Christianity. Leif Eriksson would be sent back to Greenland by the Norwegian king to convert the population to Christianity. Here, history diverges according to different sources. In the saga of Erik the Red, it is said that Leif Eriksson discovered North America on his way back from Norway to Greenland when he was blown off course. There, he and his crew would disembark and explore the area. During this exploration, they would find wild grapes, self-sown wheat, and maple trees. Leif would then name the area Vinland. They would then return to Greenland, where the population was converted to Christianity, with the notable exception of his father, Erik the Red. Leif Eriksson would never again return to Vinland. However, this is not the only story of the discovery of North America. In the saga of the Greenlanders, it is instead said that another man, Bjarni Herjolfsson, was the first man to discover North America. Bjarni was an Icelandic merchant who was based in Norway but would return to Iceland every summer to visit his father. He arrived back to Iceland in the summer of 986 AD to discover that his father had gone with Erik the Red to Greenland. He would then set sail to Greenland but was blown off course and sighted North America but refused to land, against the wishes of his crew, since he wanted to get to his father as fast as possible. When he arrived in Greenland, he talked about his discovery. Around 15 years later, in the year 101 AD, Leif Eriksson would follow up on this discovery by purchasing Bjarni's ship, gathering a crew of 35 men and setting sail for North America. Leif and his crew would first land in a land they called Helluland, or Flat Rock Land in English, which was possibly Baffin Island or Northern Labrador. They would continue to set sail along the coast and then land for a second time in a place they named Markland, or Forest Land in English, which was possibly near Cape Porcupine in Labrador. For a third time, he would set sail, and after 2 days he would briefly land on an island to the north before sailing to the mainland by passing a cape in the north, possibly Cape Bald, and then going west. Since winter was approaching, Leif Eriksson decided to make camp and sent his crew out to explore the land. A member of his crew, Tyrker, would discover that the land was full of vines and grapes, causing Leif Eriksson to name the land Vinland, or Wineland in English. After exploring for a while, Leif and his crew would build a settlement named Leifsbudir, or Leif's Booths in English. Leif Eriksson and his crew would return to Greenland with grapes and timber in spring next year. Leif would never again travel to North America, but other Greenlanders and Icelanders would. Among them were Thorfinn Karlsefni, who took 60 men and 5 women, among them Leif's sister Freydis. They would land in Vinland, where they would establish a settlement, possibly Lans of Meadow, in Newfoundland. There, Thorfinn and his wife Gudrid would become parents to the first known baby of European descent to be born in the Americas, Snorri. The settlement would, however, not become permanent. As mentioned earlier, Leif Eriksson would never return to North America. The winter after Leif arrived back in Greenland, his father would pass away, after which the role of paramount chieftain would be inherited by Leif. Little is known about the rest of his life. He was last mentioned alive in 118 AD by the saga of St. Olaf, and according to the saga of the Sworn Brothers, his title of paramount chieftain had been inherited by one of his sons, Thorkel, by the year of 125 AD. His death is never mentioned in the sagas, but it is likely that he died sometime between these 2 years. The Norse would not establish a permanent settlement in North America, and the discovery would be forgotten with time. It would take until the late 1400s for the continent to once again be discovered by Europeans. Even though Leif Eriksson's discovery did not play a large part in forming our modern-day world, his life remains highly interesting to study.